Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Hi.
I'm so excited to see each and every one of your faces. This is the first time for me after a year and a half, standing in front of you. I want to welcome you to our first post-shutdown Christmas program, and I am really thrilled to see each and every one of you here tonight. And as I was writing this, I realized that it's been a year and a half, and I still have never done this in front of you. I just want to thank you for all the support that each and every one of you have given me as I've navigated my way through this year and a half. You have made all the difference in the world. As you know, we are under a state mandate, and I do ask that you all wear a mask tonight. And I really appreciate your compliance with this, as it makes it possible for us to have events such as these. Our children have been preparing for this night for many weeks, and we are so proud of them. But first, I have many people that I would like to thank. These people have made this night and these last 2 weeks possible, and I'm so thankful for their willingness to help and for their support. Thank you to the Selmy's employees, Frank Selmy, Sal, Rodrigo, and Shuey for helping set up the stage. Thank you to Katie Selmy for the backdrop curtains and supplies, and to Connie Selmy for help with signs. Thank you to Mike Zolli, Travis Ordine, and Matt Selmy for help with the bleachers and more. Thank you to Bernie Hammis for our beautiful red lights. Thank you to Katie Godin for providing an extra hand throughout the last 2 weeks. It helped a lot. Thank you to Jennifer Thormeyer for the help with stage displays, lights, guidance, office assistance, and more this week. Thank you to Mrs. Schmall, Ms. Ferris, and Mrs. Rosengren for their work with the little ones. Thank you to Mrs. H, our Woodlawn Outreach instructor, for your dedication and your musical instruction. Thank you to Jeff Clark for the sound system and the support with music throughout the entire week. And thank you to the teachers, Mrs. Gingrich, Mrs. Bradley, Mrs. Liston, Mr. Rude, Mrs. Mills, Mrs. Mason, Ms. Pearson, Ms. Sishi, for their help with the students this week as we prepared. Now, in an effort to keep up with tradition, I'd like to read a story that Mrs. Schmidt shared with us each year on this night. It's called One Solitary Life. Here is a man who was born in an obscure village, the child of a peasant woman. He grew up in another obscure village. He worked in a carpenter shop until he was 30, and then for 3 years he was an itinerant preacher. He never wrote a book. He never held an office. He never owned a home. He never had a family. He never went to college. He never put his foot inside a big city. He never traveled 200 miles from the place where he was born. He never did one of the things that usually accompanies greatness. He had no credentials but himself. While still a young man, the tide of popular opinion turned against him. His friends ran away. One of them even denied him. He was turned over to his enemies. He went through the mockery of a trial. He was nailed to a cross between 2 thieves. His executioners gambled for the only piece of property he had on earth while he was dying, and that was his coat. When he was dead, he was taken down and laid in a borrowed grave through the pity of a friend. Centuries have come and gone, and today he is the centerpiece of the human race and the leader of the column of progress. It is far within the mark to say that all the armies that ever marched, and all the navies that were ever built, and all the parliaments that ever sat, and all the kings that ever reigned, put together, have not affected the life of humankind upon this earth as powerfully as that one solitary life. And now, for our program to begin.
Good evening.
Good evening, Father.
Our Father, deliver us all from every evil and grant us peace in our day. Almighty God, bless us all and bless our new year. God bless.
Thank you, Bob. Kindergarten, first and second grade parents, we're now going to dismiss them to come sit with you. So kindergarteners are going to come down over here. Please have one parent come get your child. First graders will come to them